Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys, I go by the name Rainams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia. Hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, da kumenya mawado maku. Nani anadera shi. Oh, utani waku.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
Katika kipindi
Karibu tena wapenzi watazamaji popote ulipo, ikiwa leo ni Jumatatu tarehe 9 mwezi wa 12 mwaka 2024. Kama kawaida mpenzi mtazamaji, ni kipindi ambacho kinaukujia kila siku ya Jumatatu kuanzia mida ya saa 5, na bila shaka hii leo tena tuko hapa ili tukaweze kuongelea masuala na mental health ama masuala kuhusiana na afya pale. Tuko naye mwana saikolojia ambaye ningependa nikaweze kumpea fursa atuambie yeye ni nani na ametokea pande gani mwa Kenya, na pia kazi ambayo huwa naifanya ni gani. Good morning, mambo vipi?
Morning too.
Yes.
So by my name I'm called Jocelyn Kagendo.
Yes.
Counseling psychologist. At the moment I'm working at Thika level 5.
Yes.
But I come from Meru County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, umetoka Meru?
Yeah.
Salamu ya asubuhi ni gani?
Ni hata ikuega.
Oh, na nikisema nati ya mama?
Ni hata mama, it means that you are saying habari mom.
Oh, habari na nati ya mama.
Yeah.
Na murume ni nini? Ama
Murume
ni
ni mwanaume.
Aya, Shenster Murume. Kuna rafiki yangu anaitwa Shenster Murume. So mimi napenda kumuita Murume sana. So Murume inakuanga niko nadhani ni njia tu ya kucommunicate hivyo.
Hapana, nikwambia mwanaume ni hata Murume.
Oh, Igembe Central?
No. I come from Meru Imenti.
Oh, wewe ni wa Imenti.
Yeah.
Oh, wewe mo Imenti. Alright, leo tunaongelea kuhusu mambo na mental health. Can you define what is this, do we mean by mental health? Nini hiyo inaitwanga hivyo?
Yeah, so there are two differences of mental health and mental disorder.
Yes.
So mental health, it's where that it's the state of well-being of an individual being able to realize his own ability to function well, either at work, either at home, all rounded at the life with the life stressors too. But a mental disorder, it's where someone is being incapacitated, like someone has a disruption,
Yes.
an illness which disrupts their mental or a physical ability to function well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ni aje unajuanga huyu mtu mali ambapo imefikia ni stress huwa inamkumba? Manake unaweza kuangalia mtu tu hivi ukasema huyu ako okay, hata venye anaongea ako sawa kabisa. Vipi unaweza kuangalia mtu ukasema ya kwamba huyu hata venye pia anaonekana kwa mtazamo wako mambo hayako sawa? Unajuanga aje? Behavior zinakuanga aje? Characters ni gani? Kitu kama hiyo.
So there are 3 stages of mental state. So there's the mild, there's the moderate, and the severe. So the mild, it's just when someone is just facing the little, but you can look at their face and you see this one isn't okay. Then the moderate is where now there are many signs which are showing off, but
Yes.
they're not that much. But then the severe one is that it can affect someone to the point that they are not able even to function, to relate with people, they're not there. So there are certain signs which you can look at someone, and
Yes.
even you can just diagnose someone is having a mental health problem.
Mm.
So first one is where they have the low mood. This is the depression, or they are depressed. Like they are not talkative.
Oh, okay.
Like they are, and even they are joyful.
Mhm.
They are joyful to make other people happy.
Okay.
But when they are their secret place at the house alone, private, they are not in the happiness.
Mhm.
So you can feel someone is putting a music of sadness,
Mhm.
where they listen to just sad music.
Mhm.
This were not like our generation, the Gen Z, most of them.
Mhm.
They usually say, I just like listening to sad music, or the juicy music,
Yes.
the song from Juicy World.
Mhm.
But then they are depressing themselves
Yes.
because there are so many thoughts.
Mhm.
And then there's also where someone is also thinking about suicidal. Like someone is being suicidal, writing letters, I
Mhm.
want to die, I want to leave this world.
Mhm.
And also where someone is like, they are saying, my life, I don't think there's a meaning of life. So
Mhm.
they have that negative talk. They don't have the positivity anymore.
Kila
Like,
kitu yeye ni mambo mabaya tu anaongeanga
Yeah.
kujihusu mama kuhusu pia wenzake aonangi mazuri, yeye ni mabaya tu.
Yes.
Hiyo stage ya pili hiyo.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's where you find someone. Then now the severe mood is where you hear someone, I have hallucinations, or there's a delusions, where they're hearing voices at their thoughts. Now, you're both of you, we are here, both of us.
Yes.
But I find myself, I'm telling you, I have voices in my heart, or I have voices in my mind.
Mhm.
But then you're not hearing the same voices.
Mhm.
Or someone is saying, to kill me. You start saying
Na
that.
si nini kawid.
Yeah, actually, a bigger contribution of mental health problems or mental disorder or
Yes.
mental disruption, it is the use of substance use.
Yes.
So actually, there at the level 5, when you look at the psychiatric ward, most patients that usually come with schizophrenia, dementia, such mental health problems, most of them it's because they have a bigger contribution. It's the use of weed, the use of bangi, the use of alcohol, the use of tobacco,
Yes.
cigarettes, all of those. They usually contribute to mental disorders. Yeah.
Na sasa hii yenye inafikianga sasa mahali ambapo umefungiwa kabisa, sasa umelazwa, labda umepelekwa madhara, hii ni stage gani hiyo?
So this is the severe stage.
The third one now.
Yeah, the third
Uh-huh.
one. This one now you have the disruptions, you are so violent, you're so agitated, you have a disoriented speech.
Yes.
Like you can't even be able to associate with people because all you can see is violence in your mind. So when others are like, you're just okay, for you in your mind, there's so much disruption. Yeah.
Na nikurudisha nyuma kidogo, umesema ya kwamba kuna mahali ambapo mtu huwa inafika anaanza kujiongelesha, anaanza kuona labda yeye wacha tu akufe, ama anaanza kusema kuna watu wanamsumbua. Lakini sisi kama African culture tunachukulia huyu mtu amerogwa, tumpeleke kanisani aombewe. Is that one the right way?
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Actually, for this man,
Yes.
the patient was brought, but then it's someone who intervened. Like the parents were saying, this one it's a spiritual, just kurogwa na pia spirituality. So the mothers and the parents were saying,
Yes.
let them take her to the hospital. But then there's an uncle who was like, this one seems to be a mental disorder. Let me take her to the hospital first.
Yes.
If she's not treated, then you can take her to the prayer center. So when the person was brought and we asked her, we have a diagnosis where we have to table out to root out the main things that this person, so that we can rule out the thing that is disturbing this person. So this is where we do the MSc. There is also the procedure of asking of the questions, the mental assessment. So this is where we ask the person from growing up, how was your childhood? Was there any childhood abuse? Was there any environmental situation that caused any violence? And also if the person has ever used any drug. So at least when you're able to rule out such things, we're able to come out with a solution if this is a drug cause or it's a genetic cause, or because sometimes mental health can be from a genetic cause. Yeah, like the schizophrenia and dementia, mostly it comes from either your family, someone had it back then. So when we asked that most of the questions,
Yes.
it ruled out that she has ever used some drugs back in high school, and also there's one of the relatives has had such a situation, but
Yes.
most of them, they used to say it's madness, but it's not madness in the sense of it's because there's something happened in that person, but they didn't take precaution.
Yes.
So after ruling out such question, we are able to diagnose either medical or either therapy. This is the psychotherapy. It's done by the psychologist or either clinician. So afterwards, we are able to treat the patients. So, but with this mental health, we don't promise the person to be okay just in one day. it will
Inachukua
a
muda
step-
sana.
Yeah, it will take a step at a day.
Yes.
So that's why you see most of the times the patients who have mental health disorders, some of the family members just let them go. Or even just
Wanawapeleka mahali wanawachao. Ni wenda daktari, maisha yako tu, mimi siko.
Yeah, because there's the finances, the medicines, like most medicines of olanzapine, the carbamazepine, and other medicines, they are so expensive. So when you don't have a social support that is good, you can find that most patients are just left with the mental illness to deal with themselves. So like, by just that girl, by helping her that way, we were able to diagnose the problem, and it was a substance use disorder. So afterwards, we were able to recommend some medicine, and we have been taking care of her. Like now we have a monthly record which they come for the clinic now. Like if it's Monday, every once in a month, and when they progress well, we are able to stop now the medication. Yeah.
Wakati sasa nataka tuchukulie hivi, umelete mgonjwa pale hospitali na ako stage 3. Na lazima labda huyu mgonjwa yeye mwenyewe ajiongelelee ama mmoja 1 2 3 usikie ako namna gani, lakini ile communication yenye mnatengeneza wewe na yeye, wewe ni kama mpatani. Unaweza kumuuliza ulitumia nini lini, anaweza kuambia mimi niko poa manzeni aje, vitu kama hizo. So how do you bring this person to the seat, mwambie sasa nieleze, na mzazi hakuwa anajua, labda alipigiwa simu kutoka shule akaambiwa mtoto wako ni kama kichwa imeruka kidogo, hajawahi experience kama mtoto wako ameshawahi kunywa vitu kama hizo. So how do you come up now with a solution?
So most of the times, actually, there are some patients who come and they have the mental health. It's so severe that they're not even able to talk. Like they're disoriented in their speech, they're disoriented in their time, place, and the state of the mind. So they're not even able to recognize who they are, because mostly it's because the mental, the substance use has disoriented their thinking. So in such a situation, what we usually do, we ask the family members or even relatives close to that person. So by asking that, we are able to get the history from the parent and also from the cousins or anyone that person lives with. So if they're not able to talk, we will just like inject a certain drug which is able to bring back their memory kidogo kidogo. So by doing that, they are able not to come for there's a more repetition of clinics. So the first clinics, if they're not able to give the report, we will just do a medication which can help them come back into the time and place orientation. So when you're able to do that, when now they come the next time clinic, they will be able now to tell more about themselves. And they're not able now, we will continue with the drugs injecting, and then also they are able now to continue with the progress. Now when they are able to come back, we are able to detect how did this person get this mental disorder. Was it from the genetics, or was it from substance use, or was it a disruption either by family? There's there's something such like childhood abuse can trigger a mild stage in such a person.
Na ebu out of now your experience, ebu tupe example yenye ushai treat mtu mwenye alikuwa amekuwa na hiyo ugonjwa, yani ametumia hizo madawa, akili karuka kidogo, na kuna mwingine ni genetics ambayo labda imetoka kwa ukoo yao hadi mahali ambapo imefika. How was the experience when you are handling these two different situations?
Sometimes, okay, being in a psych clinic, it's usually like fun and sometimes not fun.
Yes. Baadaye kuna daktari aliendanga akagongwa kofi na nani, alituma mahali aende kutibu, so wakapelekana juu ule patient akamgonga kofi. Anyway,
yeah, there are some of them who are violent, because most patients of psychiatric, they are so agitated, like their hyper temperament is so high. So you have to treat them with caution.
Yes.
You have to be alert.
So umetrain kuona kidogo.
Unajua kuna wengine wanakuja hata kuiba. Like there's a patient actually, we were treating her. But for us, we were just treating other patients. So sometimes they can get in and they know there's someone else. There's a patient already there, but they just get in. You can't do anything. It's just like, madam, you can get out or you can just sit with them. So you see, like that one.
Yes.
She came in, she took one of the syringes and one of the drugs.
Yeah.
and she went out. So it was another doctor who was in the second clinic who realized and was like, "Hiya, this person has taken this drug and syringe." For us, we didn't see because they have many tactics of disrupting people. Yeah.
Do you need a bouncer while doing that? Because kuna moja anaweza kukulemea.
Okay, you know, sometimes like when now they are so violent and you can't inject them, they will have to be like now there will be a security guard who will be like who will like handcuff them so that at least they are able to be given the medication, because there are some they are so violent and they have so much strength. You know, your time like when now their hypertension is so high, they're uncontrollable. Mostly men, they are so violent. Like when now the environment are so high, you just have like to call someone, a security guard, they are nearby who can come and cuff them, like given the medication, and they know they are taken back at home. But now we understand it, so we don't take it at heart, because now when you come into a psychiatric clinic, you'll have to come with that a heart of a child. You'll be so understanding, so calm, and so good. You don't have to be so hypertension too, because both of you know will collide so badly. Yeah.
So nikurejeshe tena nyuma kidogo, in the same story. Wewe sasa kama mwanamke umeenda pale ukaanza kudina issues kama hizi. Huo unaenda kwa wanawake peke yake ama kuna time pia una squeeze kidogo unaletwa kwa wanaume, ama huwa mnachanganya? Work plan yenu inakuanga namna gani?
We will deal with all genders, because mental health is everyone faces it. Like 100% of mental health, it occurs to everybody. Like even me as a doctor, I can get it. So there is no one special who cannot get a mental health disorder. So we treat all patients, like the male gender and the ladies gender. So it depends with the kind of hospital. Now you see like Nairobi Women's Hospital, that's a women hospital. Like now the level 5, we deal with everybody, with all genders. Yeah.
Na si unaenjoyingi?
But okay, for the first time
yes.
For the first time when I went to a psychiatric clinic, I was like, oh my goodness. Hata mimi nasikia kuchizi.
Yes.
Yeah, that day actually I felt like I have to go to my no, you know, as a clinician or a psychiatric doctor too, you have to go to a supervisor who you will tell the issues or the number of clients that you have faced, and how you'll be able to tackle those solutions when you're not able to tackle them well. So that day I was feeling like I need a counseling too, because sometimes there are patients who come with their stories and you're like, oh my goodness, I feel them. Like I feel them. So sometimes being in a psychiatric ward, you can't spend the whole day, because hata wewe pia unaweza jipata unaanza kuchizi juu issues zenye zinakuja hapo.
Okay.
So mostly we do like a 5-hour, like from morning till afternoon, then now we take a break, because if you say you will take the patients from morning to evening,
utaruka pia.
Yeah, if you'll find yourself when you're going back at home, where you find now the parents talk back to the children, because it's from the workplace, like the burnout someone has gotten from the workplace, and they have not been able to pour out to the right source, so they find that they are projecting it to the children or the maid or someone else nearby.
Yes. Yeah. Now let me give you an example of one of the journalists. Alikuwa anaitwa Mbugua Kimani. Sijui kama ushaona. Actually, congratulations for the doctors. The work you are doing very 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 good. May God bless you. So huyu jamaa alikuwa ameruka akili before aende pale, lakini saa hizi kuna video yenye iliweza kutokezea. Jamaa alikuwa anaimba sana, even was thanking the doctors. Ushaifika that experience, like mtu akikuja ni wazimu kabisa, lakini for some days umekuja ukarahili huyu mtu kamtreat tu vizuri, alafu anakaa mpaka na ukimweleza story, yani ni kama apati au ni hapana kama si yeye, maana he was not understanding himself. Ushaipitia kitu kama hicho?
Yeah, actually treating patients
yes.
They come at the bad stage, and now when they come back, when they have changed on this major progress, it feels so good. It feels fulfilling that you're doing the work that you came and did, and
achievement now.
Yeah, you get the achievement now. But then sometimes mental health, it's a bit not a sure bet. Someone can progress well, and they come back and they change, their progress is good, but then they can stay for 2 months and it come back again. So mental health is something that can be repetitive, where we can't say that it's a sure bet that the person is okay. There are some patients who can heal completely and they are good, but there are some patients it can occur again. So a mental health disorder is where we just have to be like good at embracing it, because it's something that in our Kenya we had that stigmatization and discrimination for people who have mental health. The
Yes.
point that you get some people say that it's spirit or your family have some problems or finances, but then it's not spirit. Mental health is something that can occur to anyone at any point.
Yes.
So that's why we encourage people not to stigmatize them and to allow people to heal at their own moment, because everyone has a different time healing. Yeah, we cannot heal.
Na kuna yenye huwa iponi.
Yeah, there are some which you
Wewe
just
tu
have to
unakaa tu
manage
ni
it.
kama hospitali na kwenu ni nyumba moja tu. Ni kwako ulihamia tu hapo.
So most patients of psychiatric, we're already used to them. There are some who never heal. Like we just now continue with managing them with the medication, with also the lifestyle changes, and also like psychoeducating the family, and making them to embrace psychosocial support so that the member cannot feel stigmatized or discriminated. Yeah.
Wow, natumai ya kwamba wasee mnasoma kitu, lakini niuliza aje kwa vijana, huo unaonanga nini ndio huwa kinakuanga kingi, unaletewanga tu stories za vijana, ni mapenzi ama ni gani? Sasa unajua sisi tuko katika Gen Z. Ta Gen Z ni nini unaonanga kinasumbuanga? Ukiangalia percentage kubwa yenye umeletewa cases za ma Gen Z, unaonanga ni nini inasumbuanga vijana?
So most problem that okay, I can say two of them. The most of it is substance use problem, and also the relationship, because now when you are not in a good environmental relationship where there's where it's a toxic relationship, it will dysfunction your mind in a way. So it can make you like have a mental health disorder like depression, or either like any mental health disorder. And also substance use disorder can bring the bipolar, the bipolar 1, bipolar 2, or either substance use disorder, or either MDD, the major depressive disorder. So it depends, but mostly most issues that are brought at the hospital when I'm having my clients daily, mostly it's relationship related issues and substance use disorder.
Mapenzi na rani dunia. Kuna watu lakini ngoja niulizaje. Kuna mtu ambaye anakuja anapata ya kwamba yani alijihang tu, jamaa alikuwa tu okay na akajihang, ati alilose tu bait, akaenda akachukua tu kamba akajitoa uhai, ama labda aliachwa na mpenzi wake akaenda akajitoa uhai. Vitu kama hizo tumeona zikiripotiwa. So niuliza aje, watu wanakuanga wagonjwa na wajuagi, manake ni third stage ya kwenda kujihang na alikuwa tu okay. Does it mean that sisi tumegonjeka na tujijuagi tunafaa kwenda kwa daktari kila wakati?
Mental health, that's why we propose for people to go for daily checkup.
Daily.
Yeah, you don't have to go for therapy or a session with a clinician or a psychologist or a clinical psychologist when you are having problems. You know, when we see the outside country people, they usually go for daily checkups, either if it's the body scanning or the mind problem issue. They don't go when they are having problems.
Lakini sasa niuliza aje pia, mimi niko okay, mimi naona napiga show yangu poa hapa, alafu mtu anakuja kuniambia unafaa kwenda check up. Kwani ni nini umeona hiyo? Ni vizuri uende ukiwa mgonjwa ama?
No, you see, when you're now like when you're not having like now we can see an example is this lady called Tracy Waithera. That lady was so bubbling, that lady was so happy and everything. But then now when it comes, I think last year 2023 is when she discovered she had depression. But then she was not sharing with people outside. The people outside the fan of TikTok were just like, wow, Tracy, you're so bubbling, you're so drinking alcohol, you're doing this. But this person at the mind of it all, she knows that she's not okay. So afterwards, when now it's too much for her, it's when she was like, I have to go for therapy. Now when she went for therapy, it's when now she was able to know the causes of those problems, the depression and everything. And now she discovered it's the environment she was raised up in, the childhood abuse, and they seeing a parent being a single mother also can trigger that, and also the drug use, the friends she had, like everything. But then now when you see her at 2024 now, she's already like okay, she's doing perfectly fine.
Yes.
And she's still now going for therapy. The reason why we advocate for someone to go for even when they are okay, it's because it's able to make you be like personal development, and also like know unleash your potential, know your abilities, know your strengths, your weaknesses. Because you know, for us in our family, you can be like you went through issues, but then because of being used to toxicity, even when you know you're a grown up, you are still used to that, because that is what you are used to seeing back at home. So you see that even when you're married, you still see someone treating you badly, but you're still okay, because you're already used to that program. Like your mind has been programmed to that. But then when you go to therapy and you're able to know that being in a healthy relationship, it's something good, you won't go for this bad thing. But because you have not been like enlightened or even psychoeducated about everything about mental health, you will just face it as a normal thing. So you see, like now Kimani, when he was a journalist, he was good and okay, and
Tulikuwa tunajua huyu jamaa
Yeah.
kwanza mentors wetu jamani, tunaangalia hivi tunasema I want to be like that person.
and the person is looking good at the faces of outside. For us, we are assuming his job is
You
well
admire
done.
even that person.
Yeah, but then now afterwards, just one day, the trigger becomes too much.
Eh,
It
yeah.
explode. Now you discover it afterwards. It because mental health, sometimes you can be depressed and you personally, you don't know. Even for us as counselors,
Yes.
we usually go for 10 therapy sessions, even before we start mentoring someone or doing counseling to someone. And even after, still as we are working as counselors, we still have our supervisors who are counselors, who we go to.
Lakini si wewe unaweza jitibu.
No, you cannot treat yourself as a person. You have to go to someone else to treat you. Yeah.
Hii inakaa na hiyo job. Lakini mnaishingi vizuri labda your family na watu wenye wanakuzingira. Because you have that knowledge, I think even you apply to the family nini.
Yeah.
Na mnaisikanga poa sana haki.
It feels good, but then now you can't cancel your family or your friend.
Or your husband.
Yeah, or your husband, yeah, because there's a ethical role code.
Wewe umeona ameenda vibaya unamuita tu kama mkutano. Actually unajua siku hizi watu wanakuanga tu open kwa ndoa. Ni aje bebo uendeleangi poa venye naonanga ni kama kuna kitu kana kusumbuanga. So instead ya kwenda kwa hospitali uende kutibiwa and I'm here for you. Let me do it for that. Is it bad?
You know, it can't occur well because that kuna ile mazoeano mko nayo nyote wawili.
By the mazoeano ndio maana katika ndoa ni uongo. Maana ukiwa na mazoea na mtu utamwambia kila kitu, lakini kama sijakuzoea nitalimit mambo mengine. So unaweza kuambia bro ni aje venye naona uendeleangi poa, let me give you 1 2 3. Lakini kama mjazoeana na mtu ukianzisha story kama hiyo utapata umekula ngumi.
But then pia kuzoeana pia inaweza leta some difficulties because now when you're telling someone you have mental health issues,
Uanzi hivyo.
they'll be like, pia unaona ni kwa cheese.
Uanzagi hivyo. Mnaanza tu unampeleka out, unamwambia ni aje. Kuna venye naona siku hizi unafanyanga vitu kwa hao. Sioni zinaenda poa. Can you change manze? Nikwambia hii ndio ina cause. Labda pitia mazingira magumu na hata kueleza kama ana nini. So kuna haja mpeleke tena pesa mahali kwingine na wewe uko hapo jamani.
You know there's a difference of guidance and now counseling. Guidance is where you can offer it unprofessionally to anyone.
Yes.
Family, even friends and everyone. But then counseling, it has those ethical codes. Like it must be given with a professional and it must be like looking at, you know, there's the rules, like there's a confidentiality, there's such things. And sometimes your spouse can be that they're not able to talk everything because they don't want to make you feel a bit bad, and they don't want to say that you're the cause of their mental health problem. So it's good you just help them walk in that journey. You just offering that advice and just telling them, actually we can go to this hospital and we can see, like either we can do a marriage counseling, two of us.
Na tujakosana tuende tu.
Yeah.
So ebu advice wale watu ambao wako kwa marriage na naonanga one partner wake anapelekanga tu vitu vibaya. Anaona ndio ni kaugonjwa kingine kameanza kuingia ka akili kidogo, lakini anaogopa kumwambia. Anafaa anzaje hadi wafikia sasa kwa hospitali? Malaki uwezi twende bebozi atakupiga kofi. Wewe umeona nimegonjeka kama inakwenda namna gani? So can you advise that ni anafaa kuanzaje?
So for the couples, you can either like decide both of you, like you know now you have the talk with you, most both of you have those time of talking intimacy. Apart from doing sex, now you have that intimate talk, like talking with both of you. So when you're talking there, you can be like, actually babe, for marriage to like to bountifully like become better, I think we can do counseling. We can go for marriage counseling so that we can if there's any problem, either finances, either our children raising our children, or either that's why I advocate for most people, before you get married, can you tackle your own issues? Go for that counseling, go for that therapy, so that you are healed first before going to someone else when you are unhealed and you bring your problems. You know, marriage doesn't fulfill the singleness. It doesn't fulfill the inner word of you. It doesn't complete you. You have to be complete first for you to go to someone else. You can't go 50 and this one is 100, because now both of you will collide. But then when both of you are 100, you'll be good to go, both of you. That's to advocate now as a single person, go for therapy. And also, before you get married, go for that premarital counseling. That is where that, for the church that you usually go, they offer that premarital counseling. That you see, when you go for that premarital counseling, you're psychoeducated about the problems, about what can occur, about what cannot occur, and how you can be able to tackle problems before you get into that marriage. You know, now when you're educated about such things, you'll be able to do get in, come we stay, both mnaingiana tu hivyo tu, amujuani. I don't know if you
hadi wazazi hawajui. Unashtukianga madhe kuna mtoi kwa ploti amepiga simu kanalia.
Tell me such, you know, of you've just because of a child. Now when that child grows on, is continuing to grow and leaves you, both of you, if you didn't love each other, if you didn't understand each other, if you were not ill, both of you, you start now beating each other, you start talking bad at each other, you start doing things which you saw your mother doing, like it will be a projection from what you faced when you were a child.
Yes.
Now the person you're married to. But then now when you go for counseling, before or afterwards, it's a good thing, because it helps you to tackle marriage issues and bountifully like grow very well as spouses. But then now, when you're used to domestic violence, the point that even you can't talk to neighbors, and you know when you talk to neighbors or family members, you will forgive your spouse. But your family, will they forgive your spouse? They will not. So that's why we advocate for you to go for counseling to a marriage counselor. At least that person will be confidential about your issues. They won't talk it out or post it out on the social media. It will be like between both of you, like the three of you. It will be confidential. There'll be that respect of autonomy.
Yes.
Like the person won't, the counselor, like for me as a counselor, I can't objectify my own problems or my own issues to the client. No, I have to let the client come out with a solution and what they think it's good for them.
Yes. In a relationship, in courtship, before people now get to married, unasikianga, kwanza mimi unajua sijaoa, lakini huwa unasikianga ni ndoa ni ngumu, kuna ups and downs, sijui kuna mambo mengi. So unapata mmedate, lakini kuna ile kukosana, labda mtu ameslapiwa na mtu wake, bado hawajawana lakini wanapigana bado. Lakini sisi huwa tunachukulianga ya kwamba hizo ni ups and downs katika nini ndoa. So are we supposed to ignore things like this one when they happen to our relationship, ama tuende kwa cancer, ama ni mental disorder imeanza kuingia?
For me, I don't think if someone loves you or even love them truly, they can't beat you.
Hata si kupiga peke yake, kuna hizo zingine hadi unajua hata matusi inaweza kuwa nini disorder nyingine pia.
Someone can't like talk bad to you. When they know they have issues, they will keep quiet and like now process everything. Then afterwards, you'll have a calm talk. Either afterwards, you know, kuna hizi different of attachment styles. Kuna hawa watu wenye, for them, when they're having a conflict, they find it good to just keep quiet, go think about it, then come back. Kuna hawa wengine wenye
kikombe iko hapa
hapo, they must like
namaliziana hapo.
Talk to me now. There are some others who are distant, like they keep quiet, they give you silent treatment. Now what we advocate for people is understand your partner, like how their resolution conflict tactic is. Like for you, it can be yours is keeping quiet because that is what you saw your mom doing. For me, it can be that it's talking now. So it's both of you coming together as a couple and say, this is the way I resolve my conflict, this is the way I resolve the conflict. So how can we both of us resolve this conflict? Either by giving each other, either by 1 hour, or by the end of the day, we won't go sleep. We have not resolved this, so we will resolve it at the end of it all and then go back peacefully.
Na hawa wenye wanaitanga wazazi ikikuwa kubwa nayo badala waende kwa counselor.
Yes. Your tactic seems mzuri. Sasa if I go to my parent, if you go both of us to our parent, na nikushtaki wewe, umenikosea.
Yes.
Unajua mimi nitakusamea juu mapenzi ni ile ile tu. Juu nakupenda nitakusamehea. But wazazi wangu bado itakuwa kwa akili yao.
Msichana anasumbua kijana yetu.
So itakuwa hivyo. So that way we advocate for people to go to a professional counselor because she's able to help you. Like she's not siding with anyone. She's standing on the middle ground, supporting both of you to come together and find your solution. But then now when you go to parents if they are
Watagemea.
yeah, if they are millennials, they will deal with the tactic that they had seen with their parent. They
Yes.
won't deal with the issue of now, what is now as Gen Z. How can we resolve this? That I advocate for most people. If you have issues, go to a professional counselor, or afterwards you can share with your best couple. But mostly it is good that you have people that support you, that social support system, that those 5 circle people that are there the closest. But then it's good you go for a professional counselor. If your issues can't be sorted out with that, there's a referral where we do. You go to a different counselor, you see is good for you, both of you. Yeah.
Kuna certain situation whereby hata unapata nikiani lazima niende kwa counselor tupange na huko. Is it good pia?
Kufanya nini?
Mnapanga like sasa kuna plan. Unajua kuna mtu anapatanga pesa ndio mingi lakini hajui kuzipangia. Is it pia good hadi kuamini na mtu hadi na pesa zako pia unaenda kwa counselor unamuuliza ni aje niko na pesa mingi unaona nifanye nini ni invest wapi? Hizo pia huwa zina nini nyingi pia.
No, you know we have different counselors, but then now for us counselors we have the forensic counselors, there's clinical counselors, there's the counseling counselors, so there are different counselors. So you go to a counselor depending on the issue.
Na ugonjwa yako mahali iko.
Yeah, the good they are able to sort out. But then we have the banks. This one now you go to the bank, you tell them I have this amount of money, maybe I don't know how to keep my money well or my financial capability. Now you go and be done financial literacy. Now you are taught about financing, about managing money and everything.
Kabla hatujachukua mapumziko mafupi na tuangazie swala lingine moja. Nataka tumalizane na hii story ya marriage hapa watu kukosana. Kuna mahali ambapo inaweza fikia mkose kuelewana na muamue tu divorce ndio inaweza kuwa mtu kuwa stress free.
Yeah. So for me I don't advocate for divorce, but then when
kuna makosa mengine inabidi tu like
yeah,
like jamaa mwingine alisema yeye hawezi akipata mtu wake alimcheat yeye anamwambia akituachane for good na si kwa ubaya.
Yeah, so you know it depends with the couples also and also their religion and everything. But then also there are some issues where divorce has to be catered for. Like now violence, I can't, for me, if the moment you start being violent, I can't just stay with you because that is harming myself first. That is like self-rejection to myself because I'm not taking care of myself. So such cases we usually tell people yes you can divorce, but then before the divorce we usually advocate go to a counselor, see if your issue can be sort out.
Hadi cheating unaenda kwa counselor pia bado.
Yeah, because there may be a trigger of the cheating because now there are some people where they saw their father doing that, so there's that alignment in their mind that as a man I can cheat, or as a man I can't be faithful to my wife.
Or a wife also.
Yeah, or a wife also can be like, she saw the mother always cheating on the dad. So you see there's that programmation that is in their mind.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, there is also peer pressure of friends. So that's why I've told you that two people, as long as you have decided to love each other, it's both of you to work on each other. By deciding that, we have to go to a counselor, sort out of this issue. But then if the counselor is not able to sort out issue between you, and also you both of you have not decided, because you know it depends with the both people. Because now, if you don't decide as a couple, even the counselor can't decide for you. Like for us counselors, we don't offer solution. It's the client. They have the solution in them. So for us, it's just
convincing them.
No, we don't convince. We don't do that.
Yes. Ni kuwasaidia tu.
We don't convince, because convincing, it's like having that you don't respect the autonomy, like you're influencing your values on them. So for you as a counselor, it's helping them, like guiding them by telling them these are as a disadvantage, these are as an advantage. Which one do you see can go for you, both of you? Yeah.
Wow. Nataka tuchukue mapumziko mafupi, lakini kabla hatujachukua guzia kidogo kuhusiana na bangi, manake ina cause. Nasikia siku hizo unaitanga sijui mumea. Unasikia ya kwamba ikiingia kwa mwili inakaa sijui miaka 10 msokoto moja. Na mnasema ya kwamba kuna venye mtu anaweza akapona. Kwani miaka 10 na amevuta mara 20, hiyo ni miaka tuseme kama zaidi ya 100 hapo. Sasa hii nayo inaponanga aje?
So me, I can tell my fellow youths and fellow Gen Z, it's not good to use bangi because bangi has a great disadvantage. It doesn't have any advantage to you. Maybe that time you're using, you're saying that inakupea ati thinking mind, ati you're being
Stress free.
Stress free. No, it's not. You know, a drug, it's an injection of where it makes you feel relief for a moment, but then it's not sorting out. You know, there's a if then bangi was a good drug, even for us as doctors, we could be telling patients you can use bangi, but then for us we know that it's a bad
Mbaya.
So most patients that have come with bangi problem, even ladies, there are ladies even coming. Actually now in Kiandutu, these places that these streets in Vika town, there's so much use of bangi. The point that ladies and men and boys are coming. So you see, when you're using bangi, it can trigger bipolar, it can trigger schizophrenia. Those are mental disorders. And also it can trigger substance use disorder or even a mild depression. So you see, those when you come now with such issues, there's the hallucination. You hear someone saying that mi nasikia masauti. There's a delusion. There's also like now it's also triggers like you're functioning, you're not able to function well. Like you can stay dirty. You're not even like remembering like I have to shower.
This is swag, by the way.
Yeah. There's also you find someone, they are disoriented in their speech. Like they're not able to understand whatever they had. Some people like now there's a patient I was treating last week and he was in the hospital. For him he was saying mimi nenda na gari and he's in the bed hospital.
Oh mama yangu.
But it's because of use of bangi. Like it has programmed him the point that he can't even have that memory. Like his memory has been disoriented. It has been tortured badly. So such things, they occur to someone. And most people usually say that Aimi bangi is in effect. But the moment it triggers you, you become violent, you become agitated, you start beating people at your house, you start beating your wife either. Like it makes you become someone that you are not that person. So it has so disadvantage so much the young people. So I would advise anyone, if you have used bangi, you can come to the hospital, any psychiatric, and you can come and be treated. The early the better. Because now the more you continue using it, the more it costs you so much. And also the drugs. The drugs are so expensive, which we use to treat the mental disorders. That I usually tell people, if you can avoid it totally, because using drug, it doesn't offer any solution to you. Yeah.
Wow, mafunzo mema tena zaidi. Shikilia hapo mpenzi mtazamaji, tunachukua mapumziko mafupi, tukirejea tutakuwa tukimalizia. Usiende mbali.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys, I go by the name Reynams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love I don't fake it too. Ida kumenya mawazo makuu nani anedera shire warutani waku
Vichekesho mkisongaza mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kazi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie. I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
tena mpenzi mtazamaji, sasa tuko katika hali ya kumalizia pale, na pia kama uko na swali lolote ambalo ungependa kuuliza jamani, ni vyema ukaweze kulipini pale, nitakuwa nikipitia na tukaweze kukupea jibu. Karibu tena kwa wale ambao mnaendelea na kutune in Morning Digest. Naitwa Anton Ombio Gechi, tuko naye mwana saikolojia hapa anajulikana kama Jocelyn. Ni hivyo, nimelitambua vyema. Sawa. Kwa hivyo kama uko na swali lolote ambalo ungependa kufahamu jamani, unaweza ukatuma arafa ya kwako pale. Tukiendelea tu kusonga mbele, manake tuko na dakika kadhaa za kumaliza. What role do social media and modern technology play in influencing mental health?
So social media, it plays a big role. Like now the fighting, now when there is the fighting, like the DJ Afros, those bad movies, when someone watches such bad movies, they are triggered to do such, and now they can't do that without the use of drug. Like now they have to use some drugs, then I'll be able to fight people. So you see, the modern technology, it's magnifying bad things to make people think they are good things. You know, sometimes when such things are being acted, they don't, like, they use some drugs for that person to act like that. But now the actor isn't, like, him or her won't face such challenges. But not this person who is watching as a youth, because not
I'm gonna watch horror.
Yeah, so you see that such things and you're like, by them, even me, I want to be like an horror person. So you see someone, for them to use that, they'll be like, this person used a drug. Which is it cocaine? Is it alcohol? Is it this? Let me use it, and then afterwards I will act that way. So you see, like some people, even in relationship, you find someone is an artist because he has watched such movies. Now they become manipulative to other people. Yeah.
Wow, natumai ya kwamba hilo limeweza kueleweka. And what are some of the practices or steps people can take to maintain good mental health in their daily lives?
So ways on how to overcome or be able to do mental health in the best way. First of all, we usually tell people to be self-aware, because when you're self-aware, you're able to understand yourself, you're able to know your strengths, your weaknesses, and also like examining yourself, like a self-examination of who you are, of understanding your purpose, what you can do and what you cannot do. The second one is where we tell people to do self-care. So self-care, there are several things that you can do in self-care. This is where that you do exercise. You know, when you take care of your physical body, your mental well-being is also good to go. And also when you're able to listen to good music, listen to soft music. You know, when you're listening to music, it takes away those things. Like it gives you that rest and that healing process kidogo. And also there's the relaxation technique where you breathe in, breathe out. When you're having those, like you're feeling panic attacks or in a place and you're feeling as if you have too much to process, you can breathe in, breathe out. And also having an environment where it's a peaceful environment. This is why we advocate for the parents to create a self environment and a peaceful environment for the children, because whatever a child observes or sees the parent doing at home, that is what they will do when they are growing up, because it's a picture that has been painted, so they will do the same thing. We also tell people to go for regular checkups. This is where you go and because now mental well-being can also be catered from the chronic illnesses. When you're having a chronic illnesses, you have thoughts of I will die soon, I will do this. But then when there's psychotherapy, you're able to program well and to continue with life in a better way as a normal person. We also tell people to also, like, if there is an example of journals, this will encourage a patient or a client or someone or a child to buy a notebook. You're able to write down everything during the day. How was your day? You're able now, it's like a pouring outlet.
Yes.
So naona kama wanaume most wapendi kuongea stories zao, but then
wananyamazianga tu wanakufa wenyewe.
Akuwa na journal, that person is able to write down, like jot down everything that person has faced. If there's someone who talked bad to them, if there's something that happened, if it's a good thing, they're able to be gracious and be gratitude that this happened. So when you're able to write everything that you faced during the day, you're able to pour out. It can be an outlet for you. But then when you're having so many issues, you're not writing it down, you're not having someone, for us women, we are good at talking. For me, even when I face patients who have so many issues, I will have my best friend to tell, by the way, I faced this. But for you as a man, who will you go to tell? no one. So at least when you have that journal, it's a better place to let out your emotions and everything. Also being being ability to like be self-content with what you have, your life. Like, you know, some young people, for us Gen Z, we look at the life of other people at the TikTok or Instagram or any page, and you're starting to pressure yourself.
Yes.
And you don't know if this person has either stolen money or has either taken something from someone or has done something for them to be able to get that thing. So don't pressure yourself. Just go with life with the way it is. Take it step at a time and accepting that with one time I will make it also just like them. So being able to be self-content is also a good thing, and also being gratitude, thanking God for everything that is happening. Because when you are able to thank God for everything, there's more that is able to come. And also having a social support system, it can help you like be able to share out your problems. Also having a social support system where you know there are some groups of mental well-being where you share out your issues and people are able to convince you or tell you what they are able to advise you.
Unajua saizi mwaka umeisha na kuna watu ambao labda wako na stress tofauti. Kuna mtu alikuwa amepanga kutoka Januari ya deka atakuwa na kitu fulani. Kuna mtu labda alikuwa amepanga kazini yake itakuwa hivi na hivi, lakini sasa mwaka umeisha na labda anajichukia na ameenda hapo kuwa na stress mingi ili alikutimia siku achieve hii. Economy ya Kenya imetupeleka hivi. Mbona kuna mambo mengi, Januari ndio inafika, nafaa kupeleka watoto shule, mambo kama hayo. Ndio amesongwa na msongo wa mawazo sana. Unaweza kuambia mtu kama huyu nini jamani?
First of all, I would tell that person that life isn't that serious after all. You just have to take it the way it is. First of all, you have to be thankful, because despite all the problems that has happened in Kenya at the moment, there are some things that they are good blessings. You know, sometimes when we are too good to pointing out the weaknesses, the bad things that have happened, we forget what has happened to us. So first of all, being thankful for every good thing that has happened. It's a way of giving yourself that peace and that relaxation, that tomorrow, that next year I will be able to do better. And also looking at what influenced that I wasn't able to reach my goals, or what influenced that I wasn't able to get what I was supposed to get. When you're able to examine yourself, you know, as much as you're pointing out fingers, what this, first of all,
or comparing yourself with others, how achieve mwaka umeisha na mimi sijaarifu yangu.
What part have you taken in that thing that has not happened, so that next year you'll be able to do better. And also we say such things as decluttering. Declutter what needs to be decluttered in your life. If they are friends, if you see the friends you are with that the whole year they have not influenced you in a positive way, just let them go and walk in a better journey. If there are friends that you can see that can elevate you in a better way, then go for those friends. You know, who you are, who you are as a person, that is what will address other people to come into your life. Because if you're not progressing well, even me, I won't like to come into your life, because I will know that you're a stumbling block to my life. But then you're progressing well, I can also come to you. So it's a matter of just appreciation, a matter of looking at what you can change and what you cannot change, accepting it, because not everything you can work on.
Na pia watu wache kujikombea na wengine. Ni aje tulisoma na ule manzako na gari, shaolewa, kuna watu wawili, mimi hata niko hapo, hata sijapata mtu, mambo inakuaje? Chana na hiyo.
Our timing is so different that we have to allow our step to go the way it's supposed to be.
The biggest challenge people face when seeking mental health treatment.
The biggest problem is the finances, because coming for those clinic checkups, you have to pay. There's also like buying the drugs also, because it depends if the client has progressed well or you are continuing more to better that client. So the biggest problem is the finances, having people who can support you also, because most people are discriminated. You see, even the family have given up on you. Like some people, you find that when they're in jail, in prison, that's when they're being treated. But when they get out of the prison, they're not treated. So you see, like now, the family isn't taking care of that person, because they're not taking it as a serious thing. They're taking it as a spiritual thing, or a spiritual demon. But mental health is not a spiritual demon. It is a real thing that is occurring to anyone. That's why it matters. Mental health matters so much that we have to take care of it before it occurs to us.
Kunapa, how do cultures, altitudes and beliefs shape how different communities approach the mental health care?
Yeah, you know, there are different misconceptions about mental health. every culture deals it with a different way. Like now that you have to, as a counselor, we advocate for you as a counselor before you treat someone, know cultures, know the stigmas, know the things that are accepted, know the rules and the norms and everything. When you're able to know that multicultural, you'll be able to cross-cultural in all cultures in a better way. So the misconception mostly are like they usually think that mental health is a spiritual thing. Some others think that ni kurogwa, but it's not kurogwa. There's a trigger somewhere. Either it's a childhood abuse, either it's a mistreatment, either by the maids. You know, sometimes when you're taking care of a child and you as a parent, you're not looking at those domestic the domestic keepers or those people that you let them to take care of your children. You don't know how they're taking care of your children. It's such a bad thing because they also cultivate something. There's the examples of molestation, there's the rape cases, and you don't know when they have grown up. That's when now they tell their stories that someone raped me when I was a child. So that's why we tell people that as much as you are giving someone that work to take care of your child, as a person, please look at that child, ask that child, how was your day? How is this nanny? Is she taking care of you in a bad way or a good way? At least you're able to bring healthy people in our environment. And also the way you treat someone also alleviates the way they treat your child. So be good at treating those co-workers and they'll be good at treating your children too. So yeah.
Or the environment where you are working also.
It depends.
Wow, natumai hilo umeelewa wale waajiri na waajiriwa. Labda tukimalizia ili tupunguze hizi visa vingi ambavyo vimeweza kutokea. Unaona like serikali inaweza kuingilia kati ifungue more clinics ambazo labda ni free ama ni cheap kidogo, ama waajiri watu ambao watakuwa wana visit. Unajua wengi wako na shida lakini hana njia ya kufika kwa hospitali akaweze kuongea zile shida zake. So where do you think that kunafaa government labda kuingilia kati pia mambo kama hayo?
Government should take part because now at the moment most patients who have mental issues and they don't have money, they're not coming to the hospital. Like now the patients who used to have NHIF covering, they were like happy because they know that at the end of the day the NHIF that I've paid for as an insurance will cater for me. But now because it's a new introduction of the, I don't know if it's SHE or SHASH.
Taifa Care, kitu kama hiyo.
Yeah, that thing. So that thing, it's disadvantaging many people because now the most people who don't have, like they're not paid or they're not having any covering and they already paid months, like more months for the NHIF, they'll have to pay their own cash. And you come in there and you've been told one pack of olozapine, those pills, like it's 1,000 and it's just a 3-pack and now you have to take it for 3 months according to the clinician, the clinic, the time that you will come back. So you see that is disadvantaging people. So that's why we are urging the government, if they can bring back the NHIF, it can be good. Or also they can be doing a way like now the ASLA fund, the way it came and gave some fund to people, it can be given to people who have mental health problems. At least people are able to come to cater for those problems because most people, they don't come to counseling because they say it's expensive. Like now when you have one session of counseling with a therapist, it's 1,000 and it's just one session. Tell me when you continue the issues because you don't sort out a patient's or a client problem one day. You have to go progressively, like go for those sessions. So how will they be able to come each day? Like there are some patients, I remember back then, they came for a counseling session, but then they had to go back, stay for 2 weeks at home, and then they come back now with the money. So I could be able to
yeah,
and the problem is continuing to hard on. So it's a matter of just telling the government to create a safe policy, or also the government to create an employment for people, so that when people have that employment, they know that if I have such issues, because there's some people who are facing mental health at the working place, and they're not able to talk it out. Because for me, at the end of the day, what I'm discovering, what I'm working on, it's getting that money at the end of the day. So at least let's create employment for people who don't have the jobs, for the young people. Also, let's create a system that it can be favorable for everybody. Yeah.
I was seeing some graduates on a graduate lakini when they remember outside how hard it is, ile furaha ya kugraduate pia inageuka inakuwa machozi. Government create more opportunities za vijana na wale watu ambao hawana kazi. At least pia tupunguze stress inakujanga sana ukuja na kukosa kazi. Maanake economy nayo inafinya wa Kenya sana. Shukrani sana kwa kuja. Labda jambo moja ungependa kuambia tukimalizia?
mental health matters. Take care of your mental health always. Like, treat it as like a disease. Don't wait for you to have that explosion or a disruption to the point that you can't function well. Like, go for those therapy sessions, love your family, have that emotional regulation, and also have a social support system that you can tell you when you have problems. Don't wait when it's too much for you to talk it out. And don't die alone. Don't die in silence. Speak up and you'll be able to get that solution.
Wow, sawa sawa. Labda vipi watu wanaweza kupata pia?
Yeah, so I do counseling session at Thika level 5, but I might relocate anytime. So you can take my number. My number is 0793 990854. So that is where I do counseling physical, and also there's the virtual counseling. So it depends with how the issues are.
Do you do mobile?
Yeah, I do mobile counseling, and also like now I do webinars, the Google meetings where I host like each Monday, or sometimes it depends where I've been called to be hosted here.
Wow, thank you very much. It was a very nice show, a very good topic. Unakaribishwa tena na tena ndani ya TAS TV. Ukisikia tumekucall tena, kuja jamani, tusaidie wawili watatu. Najua kuna mtu ameweza kusaidika. Kwa wote ambao umetune in, tunasema asanteni sana. You can subscribe to our channel, you can like, comment and also share wide. Ujapena social handles zako, Facebook, wapi hivyo?
Yeah, so at Instagram it's Jocelyn. At Facebook it's Jocelyn also, yeah.
TikTok
also it's Jocelyn, but TikTok I don't offer counseling. Mostly it's Instagram or Facebook. That's when I know that I usually post my mental webinars.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Tukutane tena wakati mwingine. Ukuwe na wiki maridadi. Kwaheri.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Reynams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia. Hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, da kumenya mawazo mako. Nani anadera shida? Oh, warutani wako.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. My student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.